Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With a lawyer fighting and speaking up for you, you could be entitled to a big cash award. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Now it's fast and easy to connect with the legal help you need after your car accident. Call 800-709-4667. The call is free, but you need to act now before time runs out on your claim. You need a lawyer to fight for you, protect you, and get you the compensation you need and deserve. Time's wasting. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Call now.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up, with no extra charges. With the Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
Dr. McHugh went on to say he reported on a new study showing that the suicide rate among transgendered people who had reassignment surgery, these are not pre-op, these are post-op people. Now, these are the people that said, yeah, I definitely, they were born male, I definitely want to be a female, and they were born female, I definitely want to be a male. A new study showing that the suicide rate among transgendered people that had reassignment surgery is 20 times higher than the suicide rate among non-transgender people. Now, Dr. McHugh further noted studies from Vanderbilt University and London's Portman Clinic of Children who had expressed transgender feelings, but for whom over time 70 to 80% spontaneously lost those feelings. He says, while the Obama administration, Hollywood, and major media such as Time magazine promote transgenderism as normal, these policymakers and the media are doing no favors either to the public or the transgendered by treating their confusions as a right in need of defending rather than a mental disorder that deserves understanding, treatment, and prevention. And indeed, he was talking about a Time magazine cover story back from June 9th of 2014, the transgender tipping point, America's next civil rights frontier. Now, folks, I'm telling you, this is dangerous stuff. And this all comes about because of the radical gay agenda. Now look, there is no real love lost in when you're dealing with in the gay community between regular gays and transgender. There is none. For whatever reason, and some guys, be they gay or straight, they like to see men dressed up as women. They call them trannies or what have you. Milton Berle was famous for putting on a dress and entertaining the troops and things like that. And that's one thing. But some of these people, they go out of their way to try to be feminine. And you've heard more than a few stories about a supposedly straight male unknowingly picking up a tranny, because some of them do look really feminine. They dress up and put the makeup on, and it's very difficult to tell until you take off the pants or the dress. No, because some of them they get breast augmentation. That's part of modern medical plastic surgery. Those things look very natural. So everything from the pretty much, especially if they're wearing a dress or something, everything from the waist up looks pretty normal and PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. And then they get going and they get in the hot and in the throes and everything is, all the hormones are racing and running. And the next thing the straight guy notices a bulge down below the waistline. That's not usually a good time to find out that your girl is a guy. And I'm not saying it gives them a right to do what a lot of guys have done in that particular case, and that's, literally beat the crap and sometimes even murder these people. Nobody has the right to do that. But understand this, as I said earlier, if that were the case and that guy was Muslim, he would have no remorse and no problem with, sending you on your trip off of this earth. Because look, they do it in public now anyway. They throw people off of high-rise buildings. They hang them, behead them in public display and ceremony. They don't promote this kind of stuff. I find it interesting that, when Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former president of Iran, was here in the United States visiting the UN, and he was also, invited to speak at a few events and college campus. And his response was, you here in the U.S., and he was very clear about it. You here in the U.S., you have this gay problem. That's what he called it, a gay problem. And he said, we don't have this problem in Iran. And the students in the audience, they kind of giggled and chuckled, and Mahmoud picked up on it and said, well, really? Do you know some gay people in Iran? Where are they? Look, he who's serious, they don't have, look, they run around. And they will hang, even if you're a teenager suspected of sodomy. They will hang you. So when he says they don't have this problem in Iran, he was serious. ISIS is saying we are not going to have this problem, quote unquote, in this Islamic State. They are deadly serious. They're throwing people off of high-rise buildings with whom they suspect being homosexual. And yet in this country, we've got a nation of such idiotic and stupid people that they will go out of their way to disparage and try to destroy people who would, in their right minds, defend them against those who would really want to do them harm. Behead, hang, chop up, shoot, throw from buildings. And yet we're going to focus on whether or not, or how, Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, how he looks like Jessica Lange in Jessica's earlier days. That's not, to me, that's not beauty. Because it's all fake. It's all fake. It's not natural. Naturally, he's a guy. Naturally, that is not natural beauty. Yes, Jessica Lange is old, 66, and getting older, but she was a natural beauty in her, in her youthful day. She's still not hard on the eyes. She's just an older woman. But she was a natural beauty. She was a very pretty woman back in the early days of her career. She was natural. She was born that way. Bruce Jenner was not. So I don't know how courageous it is to put somebody up on a pedestal who decides that they're going to remake themselves with a surgeon's knife. And then with Photoshop and photo editing and makeup. That's not bravery, because it's not natural. And I know I'm probably going to take some heat for this, but it has to be, this kind of stuff has to be said, because it is, and I'm going to say it is ruining, it is helping to ruin our nation in a number of ways. One, it is taking the most minute of minorities and demanding that the vast everyday majority lives the way that minute minority wants them to live. That was not the intent of the Constitution or the Founding Fathers. They didn't want the majority to run roughshod over the minority, but they did not want that minority, especially the very small, tiny minority, to rule the majority. And this is what we're getting today.